Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.
Welcome to St. Louis on the Air. I'm Don Marsh. The Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, is committed to achieving a better understanding of the Muslim American community. CARE is holding its second annual Muslim art exhibition at the Contemporary Art Museum next Saturday. It's a wide-ranging event showcasing the diversity of art and artists through art, poetry, and song. Joining me in studio, Sadia Ali is the lead organizer of the art exhibition. Yusra Ali is exhibition curator. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure.
You all excited about what's going to be happening on Saturday?
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. We have all the artists, they're still emailing us, they're letting us know, is this artwork okay? And Yusra has been having a lot of contact with them, asking them, where's you like your spot? And yeah.
So you're ready to go. Yusra, why is this important? Why is this event important?
It's important because of the stereotypes that Muslims have been dealing with due to the politics, and this is an event to represent the Muslims and inspire all minorities to be able to rather than being looked at with the way they are, show their own identities with aside from their stereotypes.
Sadia, what is life like for a Muslim in St. Louis, the Muslim American in St. Louis today?
Well, I can tell you as a student growing up in St. Louis, I was born and raised in Baldwin, Missouri, and there's a large Muslim population over there, and not to say that it's wrong, but we follow a really unique system, which is a system of security. We're always looking for the most secure line of work, the most secure line of study, the most secure relationship. And art is a challenge for security. So growing up as a student that loved comics and loved anime, I liked watching Witch on TV. The comics and drawing, they weren't seen as a secure job field. And so growing up, it was really amazing to meet all these other Muslim artists and then finally have the chance to give them a space to shine in a secure environment where their careers are also secure, but they're safe, physically safe as well in the Contemporary Art Museum.
It seems to me that you're packing an awful lot into the 4 hours on Saturday. I mean, you've got artists and song and recitations and all the rest of it. Give us some sense of the kinds of things that are going on.
So regarding artists, we have all media. We have painters, we have crafters, soap makers, jewelry makers, even fashion designers. And we also have a calligrapher, he's an Afghani calligrapher. And then as far as we have poetry and singers and inspirational speakers that are internationally known even. And we have a Syrian artist who specializes in Persian art, and she's internationally known as well.
This is the second such event,
yes,
correct? Tell me what the reaction was and the fallout from the first one. What came of it, if anything?
It blew everyone away. It was not like anything anyone has ever expected. People were thinking that they're going to see some traditional, like I said, stereotypical, quote-unquote, Islamic art. And they saw art that was just like normal American art, something that you'd expect in America or just, in Western region. And they were like, whoa, these are Muslims doing these things, expressing themselves through abstract and just different forms and getting to hear their voices through poetry. It was a unique experience. And then seeing a whole crowd of different people, minorities, and just everyone got to see each other.
Sadia, it's my impression that you hope that this event will become a national event, that the pattern will be followed nationally.
Yes, because CARE Missouri, we're doing it as the Missouri chapter. We have connection with the CARE National chapter, and they seem to be really interested in the idea. And, if we can get it to go national, if we can get a venue to host national artists, when we get the funding to help bring those national artists from all over, say other hubs with a lot of Muslims, Minneapolis, Chicago, Houston, Texas. They have a lot of Muslims over there. If we can bring those artists to St. Louis, the central location in the United States, that would be amazing.
We've used the word stereotyping a couple of times during our conversation here. What is the stereotype? What is the misimpression do you think that non-Muslims have of Muslim Americans?
Well, I think Yusra might have a better answer for that. Actually, she talked a lot with the artists on their experiences.
Go ahead.
Well, so there's like positive stereotypes and then there's negative ones. And I'll start off with positive. So, usually when you're taught in schools about Muslims or Islamic, the religion, you think of prayer, Ramadan, fasting, and, pilgrimage and Hajj. And we often, these things are different to like the general majority of people, right? A specific religion. And when we learn that, we don't get a chance to see the people as individuals. So that's the concept of positive stereotyping, where you just see somebody as like doing certain acts of things in their life, but you don't really see them, having their own lives, their own joys. Now, negative stereotype is politically generated, right? With all the stuff that's happening nowadays, Muslims are subjugated to a lot of, we can face a lot of problems, going to the airport and, hijab, beard, or dress code, anything, or just accent and skin color. Those are negative stereotypes. And one way that the exhibition actually counters that is by showing that, there's all kinds of Muslims. There's first of all, there's several races. We've even got like a Chinese American. We have a white American Muslim woman who felt personally like she always gets told that her husband should go back to his country. And she's like, well, I'm his wife. What about me? What are you going to say to me? I'm white. This is my country. And this exhibition, it's called American Muslim Art Exhibition, right? We're trying to prove that we are Americans. Our art represents America. Muslim is our own personal identity, and then our own individualism is a part of our art. And we express our voice through art.
Sadia, how have you been impacted personally? I mean, have you felt a degree of animosity or hostility or lack of friendliness amongst people that you come in contact with?
Barely, because I'm always in the office working. But the only real place I've actually people really know me, they're always so friendly because I'm in the school environment because I'm still a student. So I got to tell Forest Park Community College, I told the computer science department over there last year, they were so excited. And I told my high school when I went to South Tech, they were so excited. They just all loved it. The only animosity is just the lack of enthusiasm from the Muslim community sometimes.
From the community itself?
Yeah.
How so? Explain that, if you would.
Last year, people regretted not coming. So, this year, it's going out of their way to come and see artwork, maybe that they can see online sometimes, maybe that they're not interested in the stories. It's very unique because they're not exposed to those modern Muslim talents. They'll go to the St. Louis Art Museum and they'll see ancient Muslim art. They're not so interested in modern Muslim artists, it's very intriguing to me too.
Well, when we talk about stories, what kind of stories are we talking about?
We're talking about stories of for example, we have a Somali refugee. She grew up here and now she's interested in giving Muslim women a chance to express themselves through modest Islamic clothing, and which is available to not just Muslim women, just anyone who wants to wear that type of clothing. And other stories, for example, we have a Palestinian woman. She is very passionate about her art and making textile art, because in Palestine they have a lot of they have a specialization in unique textile designs in their clothing. And I already mentioned, for example, Elena, the white American Muslim woman, and then we have John Zhu. He's a Chinese American, and even him growing up, he talked about how I wanted to pursue art, but my parents, again, job security, going into a field that can provide, financial success. Art is usually seen as a risk. So that's one thing that goes hand in hand with the people's stories. They can't major into art the way they want to. And then those who do major into art, it's a huge risk. For number one, they're minorities. And number two, just art in general, sometimes, because art is usually seen as somebody, artists are givers to society. Whether it's giving irony or giving some sort of message, or just expressing some sort of joy, or just a sense of communication. And when you do that, sometimes your message isn't accepted. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you'll make it big. Sometimes you won't. So it's a risk with the arts. However, with this exhibition, we want to value individuals' talents and value their stories and give them an opportunity to express themselves and be confident.
How did you find all of these artists, this wide variety and diverse group? How did you reach out to them?
Last year, it was you sort of just knew them by word of mouth, and this year it's with help from our executive director Faizan Sayed. He has such a vast network, and he's such a friendly face in the Muslim community and in just the St. Louis community. He reached out to so many people. We made an online post. We had Facebook messages. We have the Facebook event page that's open, and that's brought a lot of artists in. And we have these giant posters posted all over the the Islamic centers in St. Louis area.
Faizan is tireless in his work. We all know him pretty well around here. He's been on the program a number of times. He's made quite a difference, I think, in terms of the way the Muslim American community is perceived.
It's incredible. And his intern group is always so excited to be there. He's such a joyous person to know. I'm so proud to be working underneath him. And
honestly, he's my role model.
Yeah,
he's so inspiring. He has so much knowledge and so much wisdom and experience with dealing with people. It's a frivolous task. It takes a lot of power and confidence to be able to deal with so many people, especially with people that don't like you. They'll judge you immediately for your skin color or your accent, and being able to face those people, it's a lot of courage.
And he had our back a lot during this event. Some days we'll be like, oh no, bad weather, and he's like, no, don't worry about it. We still got this.
You talk about people who judge you. Both of you young ladies are wearing headscarves, and you're very visible. As Muslim Americans.
Yes.
Is there ever any pressure to take off the headscarf?
There's never pressure. For me, I've never felt it. It's more like I forget that people see I'm wearing the headscarf, and then it's pressure for me on them to make them feel comfortable. Because you can be like a reserved or shy person. So
right. Yusra, how about you?
Oh, for me, growing up, I started wearing hijab in 6th grade, and I only wore it at school because I was just a kid. I was just practicing. But it made it really hard for me. I had a hard time making friends because I was always seen as different. Teachers barely called on me. They didn't want to say my name because they didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't get enough chance to participate. And then, in high school, you want to be seen as pretty. You want to be able to fit in. And, sometimes wearing hijab, you feel like an alien, and people judge you. And even other Muslim women, other girls are going to judge you. They're going to think that, oh, she's so religious, stay away from her. She's going to think we're so bad, for not wearing the headscarf ourselves.
There's a confusion of identity, almost. Yeah. There's a confusion of identity.
I certainly understand that. We have to wrap it up. Time is getting away from it. Let me just remind folks, the Muslim art exhibition at the Contemporary Art Museum on Washington from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. this Saturday. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us. Have a great event.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So much. Archive versions of past St. Louis On the Air programs available for download or podcast at stlpublicradio.org/STLonair. St. Louis On the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU. Thank you for listening. I'm Don Marsh.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.